Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. Out here working on the truck. Got a lot done, as I've been mentioning. Got a little treat for you today. We're gonna try and start it, but first let me show you where we're at. Everything is not together, but it is together enough where I think I can make it run right now. I've got this set up here just to keep soot off my firewall. Let's move that. I've got all my wiring over here done. Looks really nice. I like the way I got it done. Drilled another hole there for a P-clamp. More, of course, 2/0 wire, insulated, heat shrinked. You'll see I've got no P-clamp here, right? When the body flexes and comes up off the frame, because there's a spring-loaded mount there, it needs to be able to pull the wire. If I had another P-clamp here and had it tight, it wouldn't be able to. So, yeah, explanation for that. All looks real good. I like it. It's clean. I've got my new line run for the front axle disconnect. Belts on, everything's done up. Look at how nice and clean this front mount and the plumbing came out. I'm very, very happy with that. I had to put a piece of silicone hose over it here because no matter what I did where I put the P-clamp, I just couldn't keep it from contacting the steering box a little bit. Probably wouldn't rub through, but I wanted a little bit of insurance. So, fuel filter assembly is on there. I will probably, when I change the filter, put a shorter filter on that because it just, if we look at it here, there's not a whole lot of clearance. See the space for the bump stop to the frame. If I bottom the axle out, that yoke would probably hit the fuel filter. Now see, I got a little bit of a drip there. I don't know where that's from. That may be from something I spilled. We'll find out. What else? We have, of course, our throttle linkage hooked up, our brake fluid reservoir done. We've got our air governor plumbed there over to the governor, from the compressor to the governor. Got all our air lines hooked back up there. Got our circuit breaker plugged in. I was, for a couple of minutes, trying to figure out why I didn't have power inside last night, and it's because I didn't have the circuit breaker plugged in. I'll have to show you guys later. When you plug these Packard connector plugs in, you use a little bit of dielectric grease. Don't put it inside the contacts, but just on the very outside of the shell, the parts you plug in. Makes it easy to get in and out. Dielectric is a electrical barrier. If you look up the definition of dielectric, so you don't want it in the contacts on the metal itself. It's bad, makes the connection worse. I know some of you probably been taught otherwise, but that's just the fact. Dielectric does not belong on contacts. In here, kind of dark, can't really see a lot. Got the master power switch hooked up, got the start switch plugged in. I got the transmission full of oil, the top cover on it. I do not have the clutch hooked up, or the clutch release lever, the linkage hooked up. I do not have a jack shaft in it. So I'm not worried about it trying to run off out the door. What else? I got the air tanks off right now. I got the new wiring harness. The new wiring harness came in from Big Mike's. He was gracious enough to source me one of those and get it sent out to me. And that's what I've been waiting on. I got my fuel return hooked up to the tank. Got my my return line down inside the tank done. I think I've already posted that video. Maybe not. It'll be posted before this is, so either way. But yeah, I had to get my wiring harness through there before I could finish up my return line, because they wouldn't all fit through there, especially if the nut was already onto the return line. So I had to wait on that. Before my air tanks go back in, they'll get clean, painted. Same with the saddles down here. I don't want rust in there. I'm gonna put my air dryer right here, so I'll probably need to drill a couple more holes, which is good to have the air tanks out for that. There's still a lot left to do, but we're gonna see. I'm gonna see if we can't make this thing run. I know the start system works because I've already turned it on and had the fuel pump running. to bleed the air, and I have bumped the starter. I have not started it. I promised myself I was going to do that with you guys. So, yep, okay, I don't know if you can hear that, but the pump came on. Let's go over here, put the camera down next to the tank, see if you can hear it. I don't know. These pumps are really quiet. It's kind of a nice thing about them, but the old stainless steel bodied Olympic pumps and shit, those are loud. Yeah. Anyway, a mixture of some diesel, but mostly vegetable oil, peanut oil in there. So we'll see how the Cummins likes that right off the bat. Oh shit. I better put this back up there. I do not want soot all over my nice looking firewall. That would really kind of make me sad. Alright. Got my glove off the intake. I don't want to suck that in the motor. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Alright. Contact. I might have to give it a little fuel. Okay, I'm not gonna burn up my starter, so let's get up and I don't have a seat, but let's see if we can't give it a little bit of skinny pedal and encourage it. Yep. She ain't one to idle on her own. Every time I let off the pedal, it dies. Smoky. With a hint of Burger King. Okay. I have to get the cooling system on it, get the radiator on, get some water in it. That way I can actually run it and get the cylinders kind of hot, get the fuel, all the air out of the system, and see if it'll idle. If it won't, I have a feeling I'm probably going to have to take this plug back out of the pump and do another 1 or 2 clicks in on each of the adjusters for the governor springs. I set it back when I put the governor springs into the settings that it was the factory, but it was still well below what the suggested spec is. Now, I don't know if that had something to do with the governor springs that were factory and it being different or that much different, but I think they say generally it's 20 to 30 thousandths is what you want from the tip of the threaded rod to the saddle and the nut, and I had like 13, so not really enough. I thought it'd be okay because I set it back like it was, and the instructions say to do that. They say set it back where it was, but it generally should be between 20 and 30 thousandths. So I'm going to have to probably take that back off and make an adjustment, but no big deal. That's why I haven't safety wired it back. You see the old safety wire just hanging there because I figured I may have to adjust it again. So super happy, man. Yes, it runs. It is alive and in the truck with a drive shaft in it and a seat in it. I could move this thing around on its own. Yeah. that is huge for me. That's a whole new level, renewed motivation. because I was kind of getting tired of doing all this shit and not really seeing a running truck yet, you know. So super duper happy. Yes, synthetic oil in the transmission, by the way, 7590. Just find some that's yellow metal safe. Redline MT90, yellow metal safe. Royal Purple 7590, yellow metal safe. I know Spicer spec'd a 30 or 40 weight non-detergent oil, and Waterloo Specialties with their overdrive kit, Tom suggested nothing other than a non-detergent 40 weight oil, but there's really no warranty on them anymore because he doesn't make them anymore. So I think the 7590, the synthetic, is going to be thin enough to actually get in there to the needle bearings where it should be, and being as it's synthetic, it will stand up to heat and all a lot better. So I think I need that with the increased torque from the Cummins. We'll see how long it lasts. If it gives me a problem later on, I have plans in the future to put an Eaton 5-speed in this thing if and when the Spicer gives up the Ghost. So I'm not really concerned about it. Just, you know, we'll see what happens. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Keep following along. The whole truck's going to start going back together now. I'm to that point where it's kind of like I'm camming over on the downhill side of this project. About to start putting body panels back on and such. I've got my intercooler coming. So once I get the intercooler here, I've already got the radiator here. I can build my bracket to hold the radiator and the intercooler, and I can get the front end finished up. So, yeah. Guys, don't forget to check out our sponsors. They are listed in the description below. They have made a lot of this project possible. Big Mike's Motor Pool and RapcoParts.com. That's where we've gotten all of our mill surplus parts and our paint that we've used on this project. Please give them a shout. Tell them I sent you. Give them your business. They deserve it. And we'll see you on the next one. Later.